Welcome back to Spitballin Cards. In today's episode, we have cardboard consensus. That is where I will say a statement and we will all hold up our fingers 1 through 5. 1 if we disagree, 5 if we agree. If it's slightly different, I'll explain it before we hold our fingers up. In this episode, you have me, Scott, we have Chris, we have Jeff, and we have Phil. It's great to see you, gentlemen. Let's just start out with the very first one. The first one, Jackson Holiday, a buy or a bust? Question mark. This was from a viewer. But we're going to do 1 is a bust. 5 is a buy. Okay. So where do we think he is? Is he really a bust? If you think so, put a 1 up or a 2 up. If you think he's a potential buy, put a 3, 4, 5 up. So on the count of 3, 3, 2, I don't know what to say. 1, go. I'm saying 4. Why not? Okay. Phil, you start us off. Why'd you say 3?
Well, I recently picked up a Jackson Holiday card. I believe that off-season buying can start as early as early October, for the guys that aren't relevant any longer because their team got bounced out of the playoffs. With him, I think I made the buy on the day that the Orioles were eliminated. Jackson Holiday didn't show us a whole lot. He showed us a few glimpses, and he's a guy that I still buy into the potential. I don't think we've seen the end of him. I don't know if he's going to be a Hall of Famer. I don't know if he's going to ever tap into the power like his daddy did. I don't know if he's going to win a Gold Glove at shortstop. But what I see is a 70 to 80% decrease from highs. And highs were pretty crazy because those would have happened around like January through February of last year, probably. And then maybe even after it was announced that he made the team in like late March. Or actually, no, he didn't make the team in mid-April or so when he finally got the call. But I see a chance for maybe some short-term opportunity to make some money on his cards, but you have to be selective. You have to be going for the right cards. And with his Bowman Chrome auto stuff, it helps if you get one that has a nice autograph, in my opinion, because he has very many that do not have that. But I mean, it's a high-risk proposition. There's a chance that Jackson Holiday doesn't get as much attention as like a Chourio would in the preseason, just because he was overshadowed by a lot of other young guys. And there's going to be even more young guys to talk about. Like, who knows, James Wood could be lighting it up in March, and we all like the power, and he's maybe more flashy at this point, where Jackson Holiday still kind of looks like a little boy. So I'm not going to go in too crazy. I said 3. I don't think he's a slam dunk buy. Honestly, he's probably a bust as well. It's just we're going to have to wait a little bit longer for that to play out.
Who else said 3?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah, first of all, I am a coward, and I don't want to give any real opinions if I don't have to. But no, I everything Phil said, I'm pretty much on board with. I love a good post-hype sleeper. He has all these tools. As a kid, he still does. He just played, 40 or 60, I think, Major League games he got into. And he hit 189, which isn't great, but he did that as a 20-year-old. And I don't really think that sample size means much of anything. He was probably going to get a full season of at-bats next year. And yeah, anytime you see like a young guy whose prices drop 70% like that on a tiny sample size, it's very tempting to go grab a card that seemed unaffordable before. I would love to get, I know they aren't super rare, but I'd still love to get one of those fun face cards. I think that was a great idea from Topps. And I definitely want one of those in my collection.
Did you see the dual fun face autograph with Bill Ripken?
I did. Yeah. Pretty cool. It is cool. The mock-up I saw, I think maybe they just posted the super, and the super looks like it's 2 stickers, which is it's really annoying. But
you're missing out on a lot of great cards with those sticker autographs, Chris.
Well, I think Topps is missing out on the great cards by using sticker autographs, Scott.
It blows my mind though that there's like no plan to get away from it. They just don't care.
Yeah, as the sideline, you see in Topps' most recent Instagram post, they were bragging about how those Legends autos are on card. So they know it's an issue. They know it's something that collectors are interested in.
They released a product last year. I can't remember what it was, but the highlight, the chase card was the on-card autograph.
It was duels. I think it was called the set was called duels or something. Yeah. But one in every 10 boxes, your auto was on card. I remember that. Yeah, we talked about that. So they're fully aware that stickers are stupid and stink, but they're cheaper, so they're going to keep using them.
Mm-hmm. All right, Jeff, you said 4. How you feeling about
4 mainly because I didn't want to go with 3. I feel like I could go with 3 with all of these. So I'm probably more like a 3 because I'm not convinced personally to that he's a buy. But the fact that he's dropped so much and that he is still so young makes me feel like if you believed in him before, this would be a no-brainer to buy him at this price. He's got a lot to prove, but I feel like he's got a lot of time to do it. He's in a good organization. I feel like he's going to get a lot of national attention. And Phil's right. There's going to be a new batch of young kids taking that attention. There's going to be other Jacksons coming around. So I can see why you would avoid him. But if you believed in him before, it feels like this offseason is a good time to buy him.
I agree. Here's a couple sales that are interesting, right? So the hard thing is, of course, these absolutely can go down. They will probably be down in the future. But at the same time, like you all mentioned, if you believe in him, then now's a better buying opportunity if you believe. Like this gold autograph, right? That's not like terrible. Maybe this is less than $499. Maybe it's like $400. A PSA 10, a rookie Bowman Chrome Refractor, $300. Like, right, those are like the things where if he starts out hot in spring training or the regular season, this is a $500 card, make a couple $100. But there's also the downside of this card going to 150 pretty easily too. So high risk, high reward. But if you believe in him, I think now is a good time if you believe. Not saying I do, but if you believe, not bad.
He's priced similarly to Jackson Chourio right now. Of course, he started out at close to, well, depending on how far you go back, he was double the price of Chourio probably for a while, or 1.5x for a lot of the last year probably. Same age basically. Are they both 20 years old? I think this is where you see Jackson Holiday get a little bit of a bump from the on-base percentage potential possibility. The walk rate, Jackson Chourio, I think, was about 6.8 last year. People know how much that affects WAR. Potentially a safer floor from a long-term perspective based on how he can contribute. But will he get there? I think the power is really far away for him to get to Chourio's power upside. What do you guys think about Chourio versus Holiday right now? I'll start with you, Jeff.
Well, I'm a little biased, but I'm all in on Chourio over Holiday, and especially his rarer cards. Love the fact that there's not a whole lot of update SSPs coming out. I don't know. Yeah, I just think that Holiday had so much hype, and you're right. He was at least 2x the price, maybe even more with some of his Bowman first stuff at his peak versus Chourio. And I don't know. I love the way that Chourio has shown. We've talked about this before. At every level, it takes him a little bit to adjust, and then he does. He's always much younger than the competition, and that happened again in the majors. He had a little bit of a slow start, but really adjusted, peaked all the way through their short playoff run. So I like the way that he's shown that he can adjust, and Holiday's almost been the exact opposite. Every time he's gotten a look at big league pitching, it's been pretty rough for him. So I like Chourio's upside, and we've talked about this before too. The flash he plays with, he doesn't play short, so he's just not going to get that WAR bump. But he's flashy and exciting, and going to be the focal point of the Brewers for sure.
Yeah, we don't. Well, he also and Chourio, the Brewers really treated Chourio right. Like they put him on the team and they let him work through it. Whereas like the Orioles, I mean, I think Holiday came up went like 1 for 35, and they shot him right back down to AAA. So I mean, I feel like we didn't get to see as long a bigger sample size for Holiday as we did for Chourio. The Brewers, they extended him and they said, center field, like, you're an outfielder, you're on our team, like figure it out. We're with you. Take your time. You got this. I don't know. It's Holiday, by the way. We said shortstop a few times, but like, are they moving Gunner for him, or is he staying at second base?
Yeah,
he's a second.
My bad.
Okay.
That's yeah. And Gunner's a pretty good shortstop.
So yeah, he's gotten awesome. I like Gunner. One thing I'll note though, not every player is hot out the gates, and not every player that's hot out of the gates is good. Like look at Jason Hayward. He was very good at rookie year, and that was his best year by far in his entire career. And then we have someone like Mike Trout who played probably roughly 60 games, and he was not good. He wasn't good at all. And then he became the best player of the 2010s. So it's always hard to like pick, right? But Jackson Chourio, I think he's the youngest player ever to have a 30-30 season. Am I mistaken? 2020 season. Yeah. 2020 season. Yeah. So pick your poison, man. It's tough. If they're the same price, I don't know which I would take. I think I like the prospect of the Orioles having more relevance the next few years and being good over the Brewers. No offense, Jeff. And that maybe is a decision, but I don't know.
Yeah, well, I think to Chris's point about the Orioles not riding with him, I think that also was because the Brewers came into this year not expecting to compete. So they wanted to get their young guys in, whereas the Orioles kind of had a lot of pressure on them that this was their year. And I think that they didn't have as long of a leash on Holiday because of that. So it again shows how organizational outlooks can play a role in some of these players' developments. And this year it definitely did for both those guys.
It's interesting. So I'm going to share my screen again. I hope does it bug you guys to share my screen, or is it helpful when I want to show stats?
No, sure.
Great.
So here is the first 2 months of Jackson Chourio. He had 27 games in April, March. No, and then 23 games in May. Probably pretty similar numbers to the first 60 games of Jackson Holiday, because he had 5 home runs and was hitting like 200 with like a high 500 OPS. It's pretty similar. And then he got good because they stuck with him. So maybe you're onto something there, Chris. But it was almost identical through the first number of games, which is interesting.
Yeah, and he was not like scared in the playoffs either. He was probably the Brewers' like best or second best hitter. Would you agree with that, Jeff?
Yeah, for sure. And all of September, really. Yeah. I mean, he still was striking out occasionally, but his walk rate was up as the year progressed. His eye got better, and as we've talked about, that's something that can improve. But he was really aggressive in the playoffs. I think he was the first player since Babe Ruth to hit game tying home runs.
Yeah, he hit 2, right? 2 in one game.
Yes, 2 in one game. So and he was the youngest or second youngest to have a multi-homer playoff game. So he was hot right at the end. So it's going to be fun to see how he can come out of the gate, hopefully with a little more confidence this year.
I don't know if Jeff has it near him, but Jeff just got a huge card back, a Chourio card back from PSA.
Let's see it, Jeff.
We did a blind reveal on Friday night. It's on our Blabbin' About Slab on YouTube, but this is a monster card that Jeff got back.
All right.
Well, trying to highlight you, but I don't know how. Sorry, messing up again. Sorry. Is that an out of 5 red?
It is red out of 5.
Man. That's gorgeous.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
That card's really cool.
Yeah. I got a couple of Chourios back. It was nice.
Yeah, there's a chance that, and by the way, I'm on Team Chourio already. Based on how I described it earlier, I wasn't trying to defend Holiday over Chourio. I do think Chourio is a better buy at the same prices as Holiday right now. And one of the reasons why Holiday might not be cheaper is because he started off so high. So sometimes it takes a while for these guys to get deflated back to like normal prices. We saw it with Adley Rutschman, his first Bowman. We saw it with Spencer Torkelson. Guys that come in as like a top 1-2 prospect, their prices get so high, and the market moves slowly sometimes because of illiquidity, because certain cards don't sell for a while, because of holders, because of whales or people that are pretty well capitalized or just don't want to say no to taking a loss. And sometimes it just takes a while for the market to correct. So there's a chance that there's just a little bit more air in Holiday right now, and he hasn't quite been deflated back to where he should be. I think if you looked at like Bobby Witt versus Jason Dominguez, those guys were both in 2020 Bowman. They had their first autographs. So for that flipping to happen for like Witt to overtake him, it probably took him a little bit longer than it was supposed to. And like same thing with like J-Rod and Wander from the year prior. Wander probably had that position for longer than he should have, just by being the number 1 prospect and not the number 2.
Bobby Witt's an interesting player to talk about here. He didn't have the best rookie year. He had 0.9 WAR, had a 102 OPS plus at his age 22 season, and 20 home runs. It's just great, and 30 stolen bases. Like, he was good, but he wasn't Bobby Witt Jr., right? But he was 22 at that time, and then his full breakout season, he had a good year in 2023, 4.4 WAR, then 9.4 this year at age 24. So it's amazing how impatient we can be with these players, and I bet the Bobby Witt truthers who really believed were paid off well because of their patience.
Oh yeah,
it's always tough to predict. Then there's players like Jerkson Profar, who was the consensus number 1 prospect in 2013, and he broke out this year at age 31. So you never know what's going to happen, or do they break out at all? So
yeah.
All right. Who knows? Before we leave Chourio, I got to just show off one more card I got back.
Oh yeah,
well, nice card. Oh, it's the SSP. Do you know the print run on those bad boys? Nice 10.
Yeah, we think it's under 100. About like I think they've been 100 the last couple of years, but you just don't see these cards anymore post release.
And the centering on these ones has been pretty bad. I actually submitted 2 and got a 10 and a 9.
You trim that one, right, Jeff, to make it centered?
Yeah, I had to slice it off. You can see it's a little bit thin and shakes around in here, but whatever it takes to get that 10.
Yeah,
That's really cool.
the
So
ends justify the means. Yeah.
Are you selling the second or keeping the second, the 9 or 8, whatever it was?
Man, it's hard for me to think about selling. I don't know. I'll wait till spring training. To decide. But yeah, I feel like Chourio is very exciting for Brewer fans because he signed that long-term deal. So we know at least he's going to be around in Brewers uniform for a while.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, I think that's a good enough Jackson talk. We have a couple Jacksons we discussed. Let's talk about the next statement. This is not from me. This is from someone who submitted a hot take on my Instagram channel at one point. But Heritage Red Ink autographs will end up being the most sought after rookie card autograph for baseball players.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, go. Phil and I can go first if you would like. I don't think it will be, personally.
Phil, go ahead. I feel like Jeff and I talked a lot last time.
I mean, Scott, you're
either
already starting, so I'll just echo a lot of what you say, probably.
I just don't think it's going to. Like, the Red Ink autograph's been around a long time, which is great. They have that. Topps Chrome Golds are still probably going to compete. I probably don't have a Topps Chrome Gold autograph True Gold myself. I think Dynasty is going to beat them in regards to price and value. We're seeing that with Juan Soto. His Red Inks, you can buy them on eBay for $4,000, $3,000. There's always listed. And then his Dynasties are going for $12,000. So I don't think it's going to be the case. I think they're going to be a top, very high, important card. It's one of the few that'll be important and sought after. But the fact that they're, I said 2 because I don't think they will be. Okay, Phil, what do you think?
Yeah, these have been around for a while. They're not
3, I believe.
Yeah, they're not popular.
Yeah.
So
and again, the 2 isn't saying I don't like them. It's me just saying I don't think they're going to be the number 1 card. So,
yeah, I think they're one of the better choices
definitely
for rookie autos for sure because of that legacy. And if you look at Heritage, they haven't. Well, I don't know how much it's related to this, but they haven't really like blown up that product with like tons and tons of autographs. Yeah, sure, they've added some different foil parallels and stuff over the years, but even from that perspective, they haven't. That's one product where they've changed it the way Chris wants for all products to change. Just increase the base print run. Don't mess with any of the added parallels. Keep it the same and just have people that open the product getting hosed. That's probably the case with Heritage. But it works because people buy the product still because it's very interesting and it's very multifaceted.
And it's cheap. It's cheap, Phil. You get hosed, but you get hosed for $100 instead of $500.
It's cheap because you get hosed.
There's all these different like image variations. Some people do it for the parallel. Some people do it for the auto. Some people do it for the base checklist, etc. So, anyways, I just think there's better alternatives. And if you look back at certain trends that have caught on, there's certain like there's usually like one card that causes that to be like the case, or it's sort of necessary from the standpoint of like looking at like a track record of a card just dominating. So 2011 Topps Update Trout, that was important in, being like the impetus or catalyst for a lot of the flagship rookie cards from later years to blow up in 18 and 19. The 01 Bowman Chrome Pujols autograph, that's not a first, that's a rookie, but that helped a lot of the Bowman Chrome autograph stuff blow up in years afterwards. And you could say the same about the 09 draft, but that was a first auto for Trout, and that helped the stuff later. Sapphires had like a few key cards, and that could be its own video. But with Red Ink, maybe Ohtani having 2, maybe that's not the best thing for the long-term viability of, not viability, but long-term growth prospects.
If there was, I want to piggyback. If there was one Ohtani Red Ink, that card would not be $15,000. It'd be $30,000, right? Like, and that hurts Red Inks for everybody. And I agree with that statement. Like, if there was just one, we see that higher sale. You start trickling out other players. That'd be great. And on top of that, like Francisco Lindor, you could buy his Red Ink autograph right now on eBay for $500. Nobody wants to buy that. Nobody's bought that card, even when he had his spikes. It sat there. But his Topps Chrome Gold just sold for $1,500 in a BGS 9.5. So like and then his Dynasties just sold for more, for $800 in auction just barely. There's things that I think it's a great card, top 5 rookie autograph, absolutely. But I don't think it's going to be number 1.
Yeah, the Dynasty Auto is just a superior card. Even if you don't like the game used, or if you don't believe they're game used, there's a conspiracy there maybe, or it's conflicting from the front to the back of the card. Like, even if you don't buy into the idea of having a material in a card as a baseball collector, it's still a nicer looking and better card than the red ink auto, in my opinion, from Heritage. And I've owned some Heritage red inks, and I do like them. Like Scott, he's owned them as well. So
I've owned some really big Heritage. I own the Mookie out of 10, the Arenado out of 10, and the Juan Soto 22 out of 69. Sold all of them to fund other cards, and I don't really regret it. The Mookie I maybe regret a little bit, but it wasn't in like great condition. So, but anyways,
you regret that Mookie. I know you do.
I mean, the hard part is, would I pay what I sold it for?
No, probably not. No.
And so because of that, like I can't regret it. Does that make
I
sense?
wish Freeman had a 2011 out of 10, red ink out of 10. I would have probably lost body parts trying to find that card. I really like him. I put 4 just because, and I think it's more now than it was in like 2014, like or 15 with Lindor. There's just 10,000 plus Chrome rookie autographs of every player this year. Even like we get Topps Chrome, we get Topps Chrome Sapphire, Topps Chrome Cosmic, Topps Chrome Gilded, Topps Chrome Sapphire Update. Finest is Chrome, Bowman Chrome, Bowman's Best. Like they all start to bleed together, and we're just getting more and more Topps Chrome like variants and releases that keep coming out. That print run keeps getting higher, but there are only, I think, what's the number this year, Jeff? 74, 73.
Yeah.
There's only 73 red ink rookie autos.
75.
Whatever it is.
Hunter Henderson was 74 last year, so I'd assume 2024 was 75.
Okay, let's go. Let's
Well,
just say 75.
they've been known to screw up the numbers
Yeah,
repeatedly.
we'll just say 75 is fine.
Yeah, either way,
I
3 or 5, either way.
Yeah, I mean, there's whatever it is. There's 75 like paper red ink autos, and to me, those start to stand out more and more and more and more. When legitimately, I see Topps Chrome rookie autos at shows, and I don't know what product they're from. Like I have to ask. I can't tell. So yeah. I don't know. I like the fact that those Heritage have now existed. This is the 21st or 22nd year. I don't know. I'm not a huge Heritage guy, but you obviously do get blasted when you buy their boxes. But I feel like, Phil, if I buy Topps Chrome, I'm going to get crushed.
You buy anything.
Just for a minute, I might be like, ooh, well, this purple, pink, lavender, lunar, fuchsia refractor, maybe I'll get my money back because it's numbered. So it takes me 20 more minutes to realize I got slaughtered. Whereas with the Heritage box, I know immediately every one of these cards looks exactly the same. Even the front, back, those weird parallel. I know there's none of that stuff in there. But anyway, I like the red inks. To me, they stand out. Will they be number 1? Maybe number 2, but I like them.
Yeah, to piggyback on that, you guys are all probably right. It's not going to overtake it. But I was taking this. First of all, I wanted to put up a 5 because I never get to put up a 5. But I'm taking this very literally and long term. I think the autographs will hold up the best because they are paper, and there are so many Chrome autographs that are fading and just not looking great. So thinking long term, like 100 years is in the future, I could still see those red inks holding up well, the autograph, while the Chrome ones might not. So but I also agree with Chris. The dilution in the other products makes this one stand out a little bit more.
One thing I'm concerned about is the red inks fade a lot more than the blue ink Heritage autographs. They turn pink and then they disappear. That's actually a concern I have with the red inks. I can find one like the Ohtani that just sold. It's like a shadow of what it used to be. It used to be red, and now it's a very light pink. And so, compared to the blue,
you never know how people are going to take care of them either. But autographs in general hold up better on paper for sure.
I agree with that, but there's a reason why Topps sticks with blue autographs, is what I've noticed, right? Black autographs don't do good. They fade real fast, it feels like. So, anyway.
Yeah, the one negative on the red inks is that you don't get to look at them as much. I feel like I only have a couple. Like I have the second year Freeman, and I look at it like once a month, and then quickly it goes back into a dark box.
That's why I kind of like non-autograph cards at times, because you can display them and not worry about them. They can fade too, right? They can get ruined, but like realistically, they won't. But again, I think we all like them, and we all agree they're a consensus 5, maybe top 3 card. But I just think that some sets might be able to surpass it, like Dynasty. So I can't say yes. So
yeah, probably saying number 1 overall might be a stretch, but yeah, like Jeff was saying, we like them. Top 5, easy top 5, probably maybe top 3 for most people. At least that's what maybe should be.
Okay, I want to talk about Heritage one more time. So someone submitted another Heritage statement. This one was, I'm going to read exactly how he wrote it, and then I'm going to reword it to how I want to word it. But he said, Heritage Real One autograph should also be on the Chrome stock, extremely short printed. So do we want an extremely short printed Topps Chrome Heritage autograph? 1, no. 5, yes. Raise your hands. 3, 2.
Wait, hold on. I'm missing this one. Explain this one a little bit better for me.
Short printed Heritage Chrome autograph, Real One autograph, but it's Chrome, not paper.
So like number to 10. They put in 10. They wanted this particular viewer wants to add like 10 chrome autos into Topps Heritage.
Like Stadium Club did.
Like the chromes that are out of $9.99 or $5.79, whatever it is.
But there's a chrome version that's autographed, short printed.
Okay.
Okay. I'm actually just to see what you guys think, but 3, 2, 1, go.
What is it? Did I misinterpret it that you shouldn't be doing it?
Oh,
I'm
man,
saying
we're on
no.
an island.
We said no. Did you say you want it?
Oh yeah, I'm all for having more chase cards. I think it's a great idea.
It just my thing is it dilutes the whole reason why you guys said they were special like 2 seconds ago.
Yeah.
Now
Well, I'm pretty sure they would do them with stickers anyway. Topps would just slap 10 stickers on there.
I mean, if it's a Heritage Chrome numbered out of 10, there's people that would like that. I don't think that would dilute the value of the red inks.
I think
by having 10 more.
Yeah.
Chrome.
I'm afraid that would be a slippery slope. We get 10 with blue inks, and then they do like 5 with red inks, and next year it'd be 20 and 10, and then 50 and 25, and then the next thing you know. No, Heritage, I like what they did with the gold chrome refractors in Heritage. I think those are really special, and I want that to stay as like their low numbered like super chase card. I love those. Only got one in my hand recently, and it's incredible.
Bill, what do you think?
From a business standpoint, if Fanatics was able to actually sell Heritage a lot better, like they can with some of their other products, then they could increase print runs and then maybe include this. And like, I wouldn't love it as a singles collector. I'd probably hate it, but I'd understand it. But right now, blowout Black November deals, as of, I think yesterday, you can buy a case of 22 Heritage high number for $600. That's $50 per box. And that was a pretty good checklist with Witt and J-Rod. So if that is still 50, you really shouldn't be spending more than $70 on this year's version. And even there, I'd rather buy the 22, even if it did come out at 70, and it'll probably come out at like 85, and then it'll be $50 in a year or two. So
maybe they need more of these cards, Phil, that would help them sell if they have.
I see what you're saying. Based on what I was saying earlier, yeah, maybe they haven't kept up with enough fire in the boxes to convince people to open them. I don't think so. It's not a breakers product, and unfortunately, large reason why a lot of these products are just getting cut. Minor league, I mean, it's too cheap. And
I love minor league.
I love it. It's just too many cards. It's not breaker oriented, and then Fanatics is gonna move towards the other side where it's just fewer cards.
Heritage exists for 2 generations to rip a box together. Like a father, son, uncle, nephew, stuff like that. Like my dad and I do Heritage because we find it cheap. And that's the good thing about it. And we talk about the older players, the old designs. And I get a lot of chatter like that on Instagram as well. Like I can see that's what people like about it. Modern players, older design. But yeah, they're not. I mean, there's great stuff in there, but it's needle in a haystack type stuff.
Okay, can we talk about this real quick? $6.99 for that case sounds like a pretty fun rip. You get 12 hobby boxes, so 12 hits.
Oh, it was $5.99 yesterday.
It still is.
Oh, okay. I think it's $6.99. All right.
Sorry.
When you say hit though, Scott, one of the hits I've gotten in a Heritage hobby box is a Javi Baez bat relic.
Yeah, you're gonna get.
You know that relic never touched a ball.
Never. You know, you're gonna get probably 8 to 10 relics, and you're gonna get 2 to 4 autographs. But would you rather have this product versus this Bowman draft hobby for 3 autographs?
Like, you could have a whole case of this or one box of Bowman draft.
This sounds so much fun to take you hours to open. You know, you can always have there's a chance of a good chrome of gold of Julio. Like this sounds like a blast. I might buy one.
I think we need a spitballing rip of this case.
Yeah. For entertainment's sake, I would go with this. Yes.
We should each buy a case and open it.
Each buy a case.
Each buy a case. Open it simultaneously as a video. Then it's a tax write-off.
Oh, I like that.
And we all get destroyed. We all hold nothing.
There won't be anything. Yeah.
I don't know. That's a good deal. That's fun.
Yeah, I'd rather open that, assuming I have years to sell everything I pull from it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe
I'll go right in the trash.
How much does a Witt real one autograph go for, do you think, Ricky?
A red ink just sold for I want to say it was between 2 and 3K.
Heck yeah.
I think for a raw one.
Let's look. I'll do sold listing for 2022, but I'm imagining there's a good, it's not a good chance of pulling it, but it's fun.
Think about that opportunity cost, though, Scott. We could all buy a case. We could all buy a case, which puts us at about 2,500, or we could buy a Wit red ink as a group.
Oh, yeah, there it is. $1,800. Yeah, there we go.
That's like, but I don't know, $260. Like, if you get the Wit or Julio real one, will pay the box off, but that's kind of it. But still, it's fun.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay. All right, is that what time are we at, Phil?
30 minutes or so.
Good place to end.
Sure.
All right. Well, any other final thoughts on Heritage, red inks, or chrome autos? Anything you want to add? Okay. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. We appreciate it. Listen to the comments down below. Do you want a real one chrome autograph? And we will see you in the next video.
Okay.